What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason why Seth Rollins hates CM Punk, a WWE star written off TV, a top SmackDown superstar returning tonight, some unfortunate news on Big E's condition, a former superstar returning to the ring, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, Wrestlelamia.com. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at the real reason why Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. Atop of today's news, is Seth Rollins willing to work with CM Punk? Rollins discussed the Punk situation when he spoke on the Sports Illustrated podcast. I'm open to mending fences, if that's even possible. I know that might sound crazy, but I'm open to it. I'm almost 38 and I ain't got time to hold all these grudges. I think that's a lot of energy to hold that negativity in, and I like to put that energy somewhere else and make it positive. I'm open to all different facets of what this could be. The current World Heavyweight Champion went on to say, I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to stuff like that. I think there will be a way to make it work for everybody. He says he's the best in the world. That ain't the case. I'm the best in the world. I'll make anything work, no matter who it is. That being said, the Visionary hasn't forgotten about Punk's past comments about him. He said some really bad things about me, talked down about me for years and the company WWE for years. I'm talking some really bad stuff. Called me a bootlicker and crap like that. You don't know me. You don't know what I stand for. I'm a loyal person, and I felt pretty insulted by a lot of the ways he treated me, treated the place I worked for, treated friends that I worked with. I don't need to get any of that stuff with Colt Cabana if you want to look at that kind of stuff that's out there. A rumor has it that WWE plans on booking Rollins vs Punk program with Seth's comments could be the start of the said program. Right now, Punk looks to be in great shape, as taken by a fan who took a picture of him at the gym. He looks like he's bulked up a ton. Next up, a WWE star written off WWE TV. It looks like Sami Zayn will be off Raw for a bit, as this week's Wrestling Observer has reported that Sami Zayn has been written off TV. Meltzer reported it looked like they were doing an injury angle with McIntyre and Zayn when McIntyre stomped on Zayn's bad knee. I don't ever confirm Zayn will be off for a while due to that, but I do know he had asked for time off recently and was granted it, but I wasn't told when that would begin, past he was not scheduled for the 20th December show in Laval, Quebec that would normally be built around him, as that was during the scheduled break, although it's possible they could have him do that show. It's unknown why Sami asked for time off, but it's no surprise he was given it. Not only is Zayn one of the WWE's top performers, but Triple H appears to have adopted a policy of giving wrestlers more time to spend with their families. Given the WWE's bloated roster, it's not as if the company will have to scramble to find someone to take his place. It's also good to see the WWE use injury angles to write wrestlers off TV, as it creates a ready-made story for when they return, as opposed to past instances where wrestlers faded from sight for months with no explanation. Next up, a top SmackDown superstar returning tonight. Is AJ Styles finally returning to WWE on tonight's SmackDown? Styles has been written off TV with a storyline injury following the shellacking he took from the Bloodline last September. Styles will be on tonight's special Tribute to the Troops episode of SmackDown. It's worth noting that the Phenomenal One's fellow OC teammates Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have been working live events following Gallows' recent recovery from a knee injury. With Randy Orton looking for revenge on the Bloodline, Styles might have to get in line to take on Roman Reigns' faction. Now, this week's edition of SmackDown looks to be a loaded show, as the WWE holds a special Tribute to the Troops edition of the Blue Brand, with wrestlers competing for a chance at the United States Championship, and CM Punk appearing on SmackDown for the first time in nearly a decade. Do you guys plan on watching SmackDown tonight? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Chris Jericho talks CM Punk's WWE return. Is Chris Jericho surprised by CM Punk's WWE return? Well, he shared his thoughts during a recent interview with Chris Van Vliet, saying, it doesn't surprise me. It's the Vince attitude, like if you can make money with somebody, then you bring them back. He brought back the NWO, he brought Bischoff in. Yeah, and Vince isn't in charge, but Triple H learned from Vince once again, and the fans, keeping the fans entertained and happy, man. Look, he came back and he was the highest viewed social media segment that they'd ever had. So once right out of the gate, it was a benefit to them, so it didn't surprise me. Jericho's comments sum up the situation nicely, as there's no such thing as a burnt bridge in wrestling if there's money to be made. Next up, is NXT Europe on hold? The WWE is still working on the developing NXT Europe. That's the news Shawn Michaels shared with the WWE Universe during his Deadline conference call. However, the WWE Senior Vice President of Talent Development Creative did not say when the long-discussed brand will launch. Wrestling News summarized Michaels' comments concerning NXT Europe. The WWE Hall of Famer said that things are still in the works for the brand and brought up recent announcements of WWE holding premium live events in international markets. He sees Europe as a hotbed for the company and will be ready to go for NXT Europe. Michaels' comments aren't any help for fans who have been waiting for the WWE to launch NXT Europe, especially after they folded NXT UK in the summer of 2022. As eWrestling News noted, WWE NXT Europe was announced in August 2022, and despite initial plans for the new brand to be running in 2023, a launch date has yet to be announced. While there's been no official word on what the reason or reasons is for the delay in getting NXT Europe off the ground, there's been speculation that WWE's efforts to merge with Endeavor played a role in this. WWE officials may have felt that launching an ambitious product during negotiations could complicate things. For now, fans in Europe will have to settle for WWE's upcoming shows in Berlin and Paris. Do you think NXT Europe will debut soon? And is it a good idea? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, sad news on Big E's condition. As disappointing news for Big E fans hoping to get an update on the injured wrestler's physical status, particularly when he'll be able to wrestle again. The X account, the wrestling blog, is reporting, "For people asking me about Big E, I'll be honest, I don't have any kind of updates regarding him. There's been no creative plans or anyone prepared for him at the moment. The last I heard about him was he wasn't medically cleared to be back in ring action yet. Big E had a serious neck injury, it will take a lot of time to heal." Big E has repeatedly stated he feels lucky to be in the shape he's in and that he won't risk his health or his life if he's advised to retire from wrestling. Next up, Jim Ross's return uncertain. Is Jim Ross returning to AEW to call the matches soon? Well, the WWE Hall of Famer recently discussed his progress with recovering from different health ailments. Ringside News noted it's hopeful about inking a new deal with AEW and had this to say on his Grill and JR podcast. "My goal is to get healthy and drinking was not working well on my meds, my diabetes medications. I'm taking a new one, so it was a conflict. It's a conflict of interest, so to speak, because I want to get healthier and these meds gotta work, and I was diluting their strength by drinking, so I hung it up. I know that somewhere down the road, I'll have that shot of Crown Royal, but I'm gonna do things in moderation, not like massive 400-pound King Kong Bundy or something." JR revealed he has lost weight and he feels healthier. As for returning to the announce booth, good old JR explained, "I hope to get back to work sooner than later, but I'm not sure what the doctor's gonna say. It's not up to me. I gotta get released to go back to work because of this wound. The diabetes, I can handle and treat that on the road." And you may recall Ross took some time off in order to allow a wound to heal. He suffered the wound due to his radiation treatment for cancer, and constant travel was preventing the wound from healing. We send our best wishes to JR for a speedy recovery. And finally, a former WWE superstar returning to the ring. Last but not least, Gabby Tuft, aka former superstar Tyler Rex, could be returning to the ring. After transitioning in 2021, Tuft had been busy with a number of projects but hadn't ruled out wrestling. During an interview with TV Insider, Tuft was asked about returning to the ring and replied, "I wouldn't be opposed to it. I did put my foot back in the ring for the first time in 11 years recently. I went down to the Rhodes Wrestling Academy under Dustin Rhodes Goldust. I texted him and said I would love to come down and stick my foot in the ring. He said to come on down. It was an incredible feeling to be back in the ring. Since I did that there's been a huge resurgence and feeling for what I love. It has nothing to do with transitioning and then getting back into the ring to say I'm in the women's division." However, health concerns could keep Gabby out of the ring as Tuft underwent heart surgery in 2019. Gabby is waiting to hear from the doctor after asking, "Hey, review my scans. Am I clear to wrestle if I want? I'm hoping to hear back from this week to see if I'm 100% clear. If that's the case, very shortly, I'm resuming training." But there you have it, folks. The wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.